It will soon be 6 months since we picked up the keys to our 1920s bungalow by the sea. My husband James and I are an interabled couple who have never taken on a project like this before. We knew the property needed some work, but I don't think we really knew quite what we were letting ourselves in for. We have done everything from demoing the kitchen to taking out walls and even rooms. We've taken up rotten base flooring and knocked down cracked ceilings. And so this week it feels right to do an updated tour video of where we're at almost 6 months on. Welcome to our 1920s bungalow by the sea. Today's video is just showing you around everything that we've done so far. So the room that I'm currently in at the moment is obviously the porch. And that's been our storage area for things that are going to go to the tip. All of these bags full of insulation, that needs to go very soon. This is our hallway, which at the end there used to be a bathroom, which we completely ripped out as it was rotten and it just wasn't going to work for us. James is disabled. There was a shower tray that was just really high. I mean, it was quite a step up even for me. So we decided to just rip it out. So when you came in, it had a bit of a wowness to the property. All of the doorways are now widened. So James can come in and, you know, not have to squeeze himself through any doorways. Through here, we've got an anchor prop in the way at the moment because we've had the doorway widened and we had to replace some of these bricks. Is our guest bedroom. All of this furniture at some point is going to be sold. We are also planning to get this room ready for us to actually move in. We haven't actually had a single night here yet, so we're planning on basically emptying out this room, getting the ceilings back on. There's nails in the joists at the moment that I need to take out before we can do that. And we're also going to screed and we're going to put in underfloor heating and then screed over the top. Here is going to be our main bedroom. This is actually the only room in the property for the time being that's not going to be screeded. As you can see, there's a lot of tools in here, and this is the room that we're actually going to properly extend out, because when you look at it from the front, the other side, the other bedroom that I just showed you, that has a gable. This room doesn't, so we want to knock that out. Double gable at the front, so it's all nice and symmetrical. So we won't have the bay window in this room. It will just make the room bigger, which would be really nice, especially for James, so he can have enough space for his wheelchair. And then we're also thinking about sort of future things, having babies sort of in the same room as us for the time being, and then obviously when they're older, we can sort of kick them out into the nursery room. So yes, for the time being, this is just going to be our storage room for all of this stuff. So this used to be the dining room, and we knocked down the fireplace to create a brand new opening into this space. We're going to turn it into a walk-in wardrobe and ensuite. So as you can see, we've got various pipes going on and sort of like a little trench here. So this is going to be where the shower goes. It will be plumbed up here. Our toilet will be there. His and her sink here. And then in this corner, be able to see another pipe just there, and that's where our bath is going to go. So the way that you're going to enter this space is you'll come in and then there'll basically be a wall there. So you'll walk into kind of the walk-in wardrobe first. This is going to become part cupboard, so you won't be able to access this room from there. But James will have his wardrobe in this space, and then this will be my space. And then on the other side will be the bath. We do eventually need to move this window across, possibly this way. So block it up from like there and then extend it sort of there, so we get the same amount back on that side. I should also mention that this ensuite is also another room that we're going to get ready so we can actually move in. So we can have, you know, the basics, a toilet, a shower and a temporary sink. Because at the moment, believe it or not, we don't have a toilet. We broke two, unfortunately. They seem to have cracked when they were trying to be installed. So An interesting process this without a toilet. This eventually will be blocked up, but just so you can see the space. This is another room that's not going to be screeded. So this is going to be our utility space at some point that you can access from the kitchen that doesn't exist yet. Basically from this wall here, there'll be a wall that goes straight along. And then this window here, that's going to become a doorway that has access to the outside. So we're thinking when we have a dog, we can have like a doggy sink, so no sandy paw prints. And then all of our washing can be in there, because at the moment we live in an apartment. Our clothes horse is just sort of in the dining room and it just doesn't look great and it's just a bit in the way. So we've got a bit of a dream, I guess. It sounds a bit weird saying that. We have a bit of a dream of just having that out of the way and it doesn't get involved with any other part of the property. This area out here used to be their kitchen, the previous resident's kitchen, which we took out because it was rotten and it was a lot lower than our current ceiling in the hallway. And the final room that we're going to also get ready for us to move in is this. At the moment it's going to be a studio. At some point, hopefully, it's going to be a nursery. James and I both work from home, so it's a really nice sized space for him to have his desks in here so he can do his work, and also for me to edit these videos. So yeah, we're really looking forward to getting this room turned into an actual room with that wall put in. Since filming this part of the video, we've actually changed our minds on what this particular space is going to be. So it's actually going to become a 4th bedroom and not stay as a living room. We are going to keep the fireplace breast as is, but take out the fireplace itself. We are also going to stick with our idea of knocking out those little windows, widening them, and then bring them all the way down to the floor. It does obviously mean that there'll be a wall in between this space and the space next to it, and that room is now going to become the living room, which you can only access from the extension. So in terms of what the next steps are, we are going to get the wet underfloor heating in. I think we decided against radiators now, even though if you have been following along with the journey, you know that we put in pipes ready for the new radiators, but I mean, we can take that out, can't we?
There was a few rooms where we weren't sure where we wanted radiators, and it was getting a little bit like, actually, do we just go back to the underfloor plan?
Even before we started taking up all of the flooring and discovering the rotten base flooring. I say base flooring, it was like wooden flooring on top of concrete. Thank God for that concrete, because...
Well, we thought it'd be suspended.
Yeah, we were not sure what we were dealing with, to be honest.
We were kind of convinced, or we convinced ourselves it would be a suspended floor just because of the age of the building, but fortunately there's concrete, so...
Yay.
But we had already kind of made a plan to just have radiators before discovering that, and then we didn't really revisit that idea, because we thought radiators,
we forgot about the conversation.
Yeah, and we like the traditional column radiators that we were looking at, and they would suit the style, but actually, like... They kind of just are going to get in the way in a few places and not be as efficient, and we want this place to be as efficient and obviously cheap to run as possible.
I think it just makes sense to have the one system, and then it will just heat each room up evenly, which is going to be really nice.
And we'll put in a manifold, I think it's called, and then we'll have different circuits. So like the bedroom will be on a circuit, hallway, living.
That's going to be a goal. Sorry.
So the guest bedroom can be off or on a lower temperature or on less regularly than, say, the hallway or the living room.
So obviously we have to sort that out before we put the screed in. Then, well, actually, see, this is the thing. There's like an order that we need to go through. So we actually need to contact a gas man to disconnect the fireplace that we're looking at. That's in the living room. There's also an oven that needs to be disconnected and just got rid of.
There's a pipe that like runs all the way across the loft because the gas comes in the other side, and then move
that needs to go.
The box, the meter, move the meter to the side. So that's done.
So our brother-in-law has been helping us out over the last couple of months, and he's been installing he's going to install the ensuite pipework so we can actually have the toilet and the shower to work, because obviously that would be really nice.
I think we'll probably go for like a wet room style, obviously for accessibility for me. or maybe be tiled, or maybe not, maybe something softer.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're brand new here, this is James, my husband. He hasn't been in the videos very recently because he had a really nasty fall,
I broke both 6 weeks ago now. I broke both of my legs, my tibia and my fibula, falling in our apartment in the bathroom that has tiled floors. So yeah, I mean, I've got osteoporosis or borderline osteoporosis anyway, so my bones are a bit weaker at the moment.
Yeah.
Hence why they broke so easily, which has been fun.
Sarcasm, insert sarcasm.
But I mean, yeah, if I've got muscular dystrophy anyway, so I'm used to using a wheelchair and being quite unstable standing and walking anyway. But I did do it because it just, you know, I wanted to keep active and moving, and even though it was hard for me, I wanted to do that. But unfortunately, it kind of backfired and I fell. So I have just been using my wheelchair. I haven't stood since the accident. I had an operation in my leg. I've got a rod in my leg and some screws now.
With like threads on them. It was quite weird seeing your x-rays.
They just look like screws we're using here.
Yeah, literally. And then, picked it from the wall.
So I'm still recovering from that. My knee feels quite weird, so I'm struggling to stand at the moment. But I'm getting good at like transferring from the wheelchair and trying to use my upper body, which is also weaker because of the muscular dystrophy. But we're getting there. I can get in and out of the car, I can drive, and I can live life it's kind of back to normal, bar we're using like a hoist at home for the odd transfer. It's been
an eventful couple of months, and we've also got a wedding that we're planning, which is happening next month. Like, do not do it the way that we've done it. Like, don't get married and do a renovation at the same time, because it's just the most stressful thing that you will ever do.
We're looking forward to just like our plan now. Obviously, with the wedding, we're building up to that, and we want to get this place ready to hopefully, like, our honeymoon will just be moving in and just getting organised here, and that might be nice. Take some time off work and just settle here and go do some touristy things.
Yeah, exactly. But we are quite happy to do that, especially as last year we had a signing the paperwork day, a massive honeymoon. We went to Norway on a cruise for a week, which was amazing. So now that we're having the bigger wedding this year, we're kind of like, oh, it's fine. We'll just have a smaller honeymoon.
We did have a 2-week cruise booked with to the Baltic Sea, but they cancelled it. So although that was quite expensive, and judging by how the way things are going at the moment, we're better off just spending that money on.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, we'll do something again, but stay tuned. There will be some adventures.
We're not going to do any work today in this video, but just so you know what's coming up next, there's a lot of nails in the joists, which I feel like I've mentioned in the last 3 videos. I'm sounding like a broken record, but all of that does need to come out so we can then put new ceilings back up, because you can't obviously put ceilings on top of nails.
It's quite nice seeing it all open though, and seeing, because I haven't actually been able to see the loft for obvious reasons.
We basically need to start moving everything out of here, even if it's just outside, tarpaulin over the top. There's like stuff that needs to go to the scrap man so we can get some money back, which would be lovely.
De-dust.
There's so much dust. It's actually annoying at this
point. There's a few systems that you can install, like insulation and something you can clip the pipes to.
Like a membrane.
For the wet on the floor. So we need to figure out that and start installing that, and installing this manifold, and buying a few things for like the bathroom so we can measure and plan, and
Sorry, I'm playing with hair, which is really annoying me. There was a couple of questions that is like rattling around in my head at the moment. So someone asked when we're gonna move in. We are hoping to basically move in and get like those 3 rooms ready that I mentioned earlier by the week after our wedding.
I'd say like early July.
Early July.
If we're looking at moving in July, I think I'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I know that's not long.
Yeah, we're in May.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. We also had another question ages ago from our friend Graham. Yes, we're gonna have a log burner. It's been a bit of a dream of ours to have one.
That won't happen. Well, that hopefully will happen by Christmas, but
yes,
maybe we'll get something in this year. It does depend on what else needs to happen in this space and with the extension and that, because we don't want to do something and then ruin it.
Also, I want to ask you a question on camera.
All right.
Do you like the name Lavender Haze? Because I'm a bit worried that I've just said to our audience that I really like the name, and I've just kind of taken control of the name?
I do, no, I genuinely do. It's quite nice. Hopefully we can have grasses at the front, like nice coastal grasses, and they look good. You get like nice purpley, lavendery.
Yeah, we're still sort of learning what coastal plants are, to be honest. We've never had a garden that's our own before. We've had a balcony that's just decking, so I'm really excited to start getting into that and what's kind of native to here.
I don't know, I think it'll suit as well, like our eventual plans with the cladding and the stone and everything. Purple really complements that, like lavender would really complement that. And haze is kind of nice. I like the word haze. It's like,
yeah, it's not cottage. It's not like cottage or muse.
It's a bit
Just
dreamy.
like, yeah, it's not like the typical name that you would expect.
I think purple haze is like a drug as well.
Is it? Oh no.
Isn't it purple haze? It's like a strain of, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I know that
it's kind of cool.
Lavender haze means when you're in that, it's like the honeymoon phase, when you're just getting together and everything's really exciting and you are just like learning about that person, and that person can't do anything wrong because you're in this lavender haze. And it's a Taylor Swift song, which is really good. So
Yeah, I like the name. I think it's cool. There's a lot of like
Yay,
obvious
that's
names
good.
out there that we just don't want to call it.
we hope that you're excited for the next sort of stage that we're in. I thought that the demo stage would be kind of coming to an end, and it is. We're
pretty
like
much.
so close, but I feel like I have been saying that for a long time now. We are very, very close. There's obviously the nails, and then bits that we can't do that we have to rely on other people to do. So like the gas man, our screed guy, and our brother-in-law, who has been amazing throughout all of this, and we've learnt so much from him, and I don't know if we'd be able to do this without him, and your sister
And
Jo.
my sister, they've got a lot of experience now.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky. We'll probably leave it here. We're gonna go and enjoy the bank holiday. Did I say that weird?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're gonna go.
We're gonna go and enjoy that sunshine. But thank you so much for watching, and if you do have any other questions, then be sure to leave them in the comments of this video so we can do another Q&A at some point soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye guys!
Bye bye.